Hello and welcome. Name's Derek, and I sell physical media on eBay. I make videos about that stuff. This is a What Sold video. I'm dancing like a robot. Or robot from the 80s. I don't know if they do that with their neck. Stuff in this. It's strange when you mention that word manifestation and how that transpires and how that actually happens. It did not happen with that Pink Floyd. It did happen with one of the more expensive cassettes, though. I kept the guy a pretty heck of a deal on that specific one because, well, the more overselling what has sold over Terror Peak for 3 years for that specific one, that specific model one, it wasn't 500. I figure I just put it up there, 300 to 400. And this guy also got $200 of 3 other cassettes. So I kind of cut him a little bit of an extra deal. And he didn't do any best offers or anything on the other one. So, everything kind of teeters out. So, $1 million. I tried. All right. So it is a What Sold video. And I haven't had a sales day like this since pre-Christmas. Granted, there's about a $300 pair of eyeglass frames, a $300 cassette, and $200 of 3 other cassettes. So you add all that up, that is $250 and $450, $750. So if it wasn't for those, it would still be a video-wise, but it is 12 orders for $1,004. That is more of what my payout was for all of last week. The ebb and the flow. Welcome to the Ebb and Flow Show. Yo, Joe. All right. Start finding this stuff. C37. For all the movies that are out there, I can say I don't think I've ever seen Grease, but I know, tell me why. I know that. I don't know. And the font looks like different type of Times New Roman, but it's small and the contrast just isn't right. But $12. I have this, which should be over here. One of the few things of media that I have that's not in any of these boxes or on that shelf. It's like 2 or 3 other things of media are back in that closet. But this is Living Without Stress or Fear. 32. On a positive note, so department management here credited my account $250 for the added consumption of electricity for using space heaters, 2 of which they provided. We had one. Well, we have 2. One of the ones is just it's not providing heat anymore. Something, the little safety switch is working, but maybe the coil or something within there stopped the coil from working. I mean, they do get a lot of heat when they're on, so they are prone to failure. Well, everything is prone to failure. But so they brought over 2 more, and they're replacing the entire HVAC. So the heater, and I'm going to best guess will probably clean the ducts. I don't know. But at least the heater and the air conditioner, which you can see in this video. Got my kitties out here. It's chilly though. We'll come back up around in a little bit. And that air conditioner right there is getting replaced. And the heater. You have Monkey. So that's Monkey. Down here. Bruce. And Rigby. Right there. And he wants back in. All right. Get a book I've had for... Well, I got to get a book in these tapes. So I'm going to get that book in these. Book Hackers. I've had for a good long while. $11. Actually, when I don't know, I relisted that within a week. I've relisted that. And again, that view counter, if it's got 3 or more and it's 3 months old or older, and I click it and it has 4, 5, 6 plus whichever the amount is views, comes down, gets repriced by a little bit. So the cassettes that we have, so these 3 right here, David Bowie, Allman Brothers, and with David Bowie, is $192 for those 3. And that is like pre-tax. And then to skip a couple sales so I can get into this one here. All right, this is Beatles, Abbey Road, sealed. Like the 4 or 400 series. What is this one? 4XT. So I noticed by not only selling cassettes, but when I got that whole bunch, I start looking things up. I'm looking for the differences in one cassette versus another. It could be the exact same title, exact same everything. But I'm looking at these numbers, and the ones that have these 4s or the 4XT or 4 whichever tended to be worth more or rarer. This one, $300. So that is just shy, well, a little over. So $330 and whatever. So I guys got like $550 in between those ones. Actually, we'll do this just for the screenshot. $550. And we've got something that's even more entertaining. Ian Valentine, and Valentine. $240. Most likely just got from Savers or something. And if I did, they were $2. That's why I get frames. By average, most frames are not going to be really worth much. So I used to do not clothing in the entirety of the clothing category. I did a few snapback hats. That would be about the extreme, because you could fit those in like a 6x5x4 or whatever size box, But I did accessories like belts, tie clips, links, ties, a lot of ties, Zegnas, Ferragamo, Hermes, and the list goes on. You just sell in different categories. You remember the brands. But I never really got it. And I did those kind of things because they were smalls, right? A tie is going to weigh 4 ounces, so it doesn't really matter where it's going. It's going to be 4 ounces. But media, it doesn't really matter where it's going if it's at the pound rate. But so I got more familiar, and then I started picking up eyeglass. I don't remember. It was a woman I watched many years ago, and she was going over like eyeglass frames and sunglasses. I'm like, yeah, interesting. Don't really think about it until you start digging in them and really start looking. So most stores I go to, if I can find their eyewear section, that I will look, because it's only going to take 2 to 5 minutes, and all it takes is one out of looking at 10 different spots. So if you've got 10 minutes wrapped up in 10 different spots, you don't even have 2 hours. But within those 2 hours in that, if you're finding glasses that are worth 200 a pair or accumulatively, it's kind of worth your time to me. And if that mathematically and logistically makes sense to you, then it could be good for you as well. There's another pair of frames. These are Adidas. They're in a different box. I did flip the box up to look for it real quick. I didn't see them. I wanted to find the other ones. So I don't have them to show, but they are $43. Now, to get into some of this stuff here, D3. Lemonade Mouth. Just got that. Lemonade Mouth. 25. So this was from not the sourcing trip of just I went to yesterday, but the one previous to that, which was just a handful of days before that. 25 bucks. So that took a week, maybe, change. D26. Something about hockey. I don't think that's it. Hockey Legends, or Legends of Hockey. Season 1. 15. Depeche Mode. It's like manifesting, right? When was the last time I sold a Depeche Mode anything? When I was singing Depeche Mode. Little 15. You know what I mean. And I could just hear that. I could just hear the very, very beginning of that album, Music for the Masses. The very, very, I can hear that little musical beat. Depeche Mode. Yeah, so this is Depeche Mode 101, Disc A. Disc A and Disc A. Right, so when I got it, it didn't have barcode. I got it, I brought it in, looked it up. I'm like, oh, it is Disc A, most likely out of a 2 set. I'm not sure. I know there's at least Disc A. Ooh, that's Disc A. Like risque. Ooh. So it was a mistake buy, still sold for 11 bucks. Gotta get another tape. This is Little Feat. Little Feat. Dixie Chicken cassette. 13. D35. Wild Orchard. Just relisted. Actually, I just relisted that one yesterday and just relisted this Wild Orchard yesterday as well. D35. Oh, it's Orchid. Wild Orchid. Wild Orchid. 10 bucks. Who is that? She looks familiar. Well, it has Mickey Rourke. Early Mickey Rourke. Look at there, one more. Everyone's a winner. The very best of hot chocolate. C31. Was I just in that one? That might be it. It is. All right. Everyone's a winner. Best of hot chocolate. Oh, you sexy thing. So who sings that one? It started with a kiss. Okay, so that's kind of strange. So I was watching Finding Mulder. His name is Sean Keaton. Really cool guy. He lives New England area, and he does a lot of Fallout 4 settlement builds and stuff. Really, 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 his imagination is far beyond what mine would be, in regards to building like that. So he gets ready to start a tour of the Murkwater area, and he has very, very specific little buildings where he does very, very specific themed things in there. And so he goes up and he looks around. He's like, "Man, I've been building here too long. How did it end up like this?" And so then I quoted, "It started with a kiss." How did it end up like this? And that's hot chocolate. It started with the kiss. That's funny. Manifesting. Wow. So that is, again, well, let's do a refresh. So, I mean, to be honest, man, it could just be it's beginning of the month, right? It could be that people are getting their tax, but as long as the sales weeks, as long as your fire is burning, I won't do that. But as long as the payouts are within reason, I can't grovel too much. As long as payouts are close to 1,000, I mean, the one that just got was just over 900. So, and to be that this today is the total product cost received is 909. Now, granted, you're going to have to take fees and shipping out of that. So if you do the average about 30%, that's 270. So you will go up to make that a little easier. That's going to be 609. You add that 30 that you already took, you add that 30 back. So that's 640. It's still this with the stuff. And I don't, because I know that a lot of people will think the exact same way, but like, oh, the stuff I have should be selling. Everyone's going to think that way. I got the stuff that's, it's, I went out and I looked it up. I did the research. I know it should be selling. To me, in my understanding, that media just has a higher, I don't want to say demand, but it has a higher nostalgia stronghold on people. An old t-shirt, not so much. A really, really cool pair of pants that you had way when ago, not so much. A 1987 Sony stereo amp, not so much. You get to listening to these songs, you get to reading the books and reimagining that, or you get to watching a movie or a TV series or uh, anything along those lines. You're going to pull more from. Is that the olfactory? It's just the olfactory just has to do with smell, but it's going to pull up the amygdala, hippocampus, whatever it's going to pull. It's going to bring. It's going to be a big. Put on a T-shirt that you had 30 years ago, and you're going to wear it, and your little endorphin rush is going to last like that. You put a cassette in, or you put a CD in, or something like that, and you keep playing it, you keep playing it, you keep playing it, and that endorphin rush is going to keep hitting. So to me, if you are a media seller, an avid media seller, even if you just got into it or you've been at it for a long time, um, media just has that grip, that hold on people. And it's strange because I just got another a 3 disc. So the two that I was listening to, the Time Life ones in the car, brought those in, and I have a 3 disc that's out there that didn't come up on scan. I was like, I'll pay the $1 or $2 for it. It has 3 discs, and my wife sends me a message like, because she's using that car while the spark plug comes in. Yes, the one spark plug that was stolen from the engine of a almost 25-year-old Ford Escape. So she's using the Fiesta, and the CD player doesn't work in the Escape. So she uses a Bluetooth adapter or cigarette lighter thing. But she sends me a message. Actually, she had it just gotten in there. She goes, "I love this CD." So I responded back with, It's a different one. It's a 3 set, or however I wrote that. I haven't listened to number 3 yet. So as soon as she turned the car on and there's just a CD playing in there, she really doesn't know what it is, or she could be expecting what it was that was in there yesterday. And something comes up to where she finds that need. She finds a need to message me, Messenger, and write, I love this CD. In the span of however long, 5 seconds, 10 seconds, however long she was listening to that very, very specific song. That is the grip that media, that is the grip that the visual movies, TV shows, books, the grip the audio has on people. So where I'm going with this, if sales are really, really low on the quality of the stuff I have, I mean, granted, we all say all the stuff I have should, it's really, really good stuff. Some of the stuff if you were to look at any of these, or just a small compendium of stuff that I do have, as opposed to other media sellers that have thousands, way, 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 way more. For the most part, what I have is vetted good enough to where, it's not a whole bunch of little nickel and diming, not literal 5 cent CDs or just nickel and diming stuff. These things, Beatles, Abbey Road, sealed, an early number 4 series cassette. That's something somebody wants, that because of the feeling that they have when they see that, when they have it as a collector, as a listener. I doubt they're going to open up and listen to it. They'll probably have it graded and sealed, hermetically sealed. They'll listen, or they have that attachment. So for sales to be way less in a category that to me has what I just explained, that emotional conquer on people, would I get any sort of tingly feeling if I just heard that, you sexy thing? Probably not. But if I hear, sometimes I feel like I don't have a partner, or give it away, or hey, oh, hey, or slow cheat up, or name them. Red Hot Chili Peppers. Already goosebumps. See, it has that effect. But sales, I can't say are temporary. What a seller perceives as slow sales is temporary. What you can control is what you buy, what you list, and for what price. So that's going to wrap that one up. Like what you heard, like what you saw, like what you learned. I'm just going to go with exactly what I just said. Physical media, the actual, not just being able to hear the song on the radio, that does that. That will give you that feeling. Not just rewatch Stargate Atlantis or whatever it may be, Dr. McKay and Being Afraid of Citrus, or which movies or books you could read in a PDF, a reader, whatever they're called. An ebook. You could do that. You can listen to them. But if you have that copy of something that you just have that emotional attachment on, it's going to be a good category for you to go out and go find that stuff, because people want that attachment. Even more so if they can have a very, very rarer of something. And fanaticism, which the word fan is rooted from, or fanatic. And that is, let me think you're going up. Comment down below. Subscribe, share. It's all free. They help me to help you, so I can help other people. Appreciate it. Thank you.